Well, back guys, today we're going to be using Learn to Use DOS from 1991. So you can finally learn how to use MS-DOS. Very crucial life skill nowadays, I know. Here's Office Developers, serial number, I do see color, and we'll learn how to use this program. Learn to Use DOS is an interactive, self-paced training program which will help you get the most out of your computer. In this lesson, you will learn how Learn to Use DOS works, including choosing lessons from the main menu, moving from one lesson to another, and controlling the course with special keys or a mouse. The Learn to DOS menu DOS menu contains 11 lessons. You can run Learn to Use DOS's lessons in any order. The up and down keys let you highlight the lesson you want. Pressing enter will start the lesson. If you're using a mouse, click on the menu choice with the left mouse button. Learn to Use DOS's main menu is designed to be flexible so that you can run the lessons in any order. Here are some suggestions for getting the most out of Learn to Use DOS. If you are new to DOS, you should run the lessons in the order they are presented. You can repeat a lesson as often as you like. There is no need to run the entire course in a single session. If you are already familiar with basic DOS, you can go directly to any lesson that interests you, such as making backups, or exploring the DOS 5 shell. Learn to Use DOS allows you to go anywhere in the course by using the index feature. The index feature is organized alphabetically by topic and allows you to review key points. This feature provides the flexibility of going directly to a screen of particular interest. Learn to Use DOS always tells you where you are in the course. The bar at the top of each screen provides useful information, including the lesson name and the total number of screens in the lesson. Learn to Use DOS is an interactive tutorial for learning about DOS. Shocker. Each screen involves you in the learning process. You'll be interacting while you proceed through the course by the use of a prompt. You can either use a keyboard or mouse to interact with this tutorial. How to use the mouse will be described later. Special keys. Learn to Use DOS uses 6 special keys to give you control as you run the course. Control N takes you to the next Learn to Use DOS instruction. Control B takes you back through the course. You can use back to review previous materials. Note all 7 special keys operate by holding down the control key and then pressing the letter you want. Main menu and index. Here are 2 other special keys. Control E. You can go directly to the main menu from anywhere in the course. Control I. The index feature lets you look up a particular topic in the course. Hot words. Here's another key. Control H. At certain times a hot word will be available. A hot word can give you a definition if you are not sure what the word means. Hot words are dark red in color. If you are using a monochrome monitor, hot words will appear in inverse text. A hot word will be displayed to you until you release Control H. And there's an example. Quitting Learn to Use DOS. Another useful key is Control Q. Use this to quit the course at any time. Getting assistance, and above all, Control A. The special key displays the assistance window. It will remind you of each of the other special keys. No matter where you are in the course, assistance is always available. Remember, anywhere, anytime, anywhere, Control A comes to the rescue. Using a mouse. If you're using a mouse with this course, you'll be able to perform Learn to Use DOS's special key functions with a click of your mouse. To display a mouse option box, move until your cursor is over the mouse indicator and click. Once the mouse options box is displayed, use the left mouse option to click on the desired option. Using a mouse. You can easily move through the course by using the mouse button to click in the mouse options box. Next, works by Control N to move forward through the course. And here's all the others. Also, mouse users can see a hot word definition simply by clicking on the hot word and holding the mouse button. That does not seem to... Oh, there it goes. There we go. You have just completed this lesson. The topics covered in this lesson include choosing lessons from the main menu, moving through the course, controlling the course with special keys or a mouse. The next lesson is getting started for DOS, or with DOS. This lesson, Getting Started with DOS, will answer any questions you may have had about DOS, including, what is DOS used for? How do I get started with DOS? What is the DOS prompt? And how do I become the boss of DOS? That sounds hilarious. In order to be a smart user of this, you need to be familiar with this. DOS is an operating system. DOS makes your computer alive. DOS, like other operating systems, is a mandatory computer program that supervises and directs the functioning of your computer. An operating system remains hidden in the background, performing its tasks both visibly and invisibly. Most computers come with an operating system. Think of an operating system as the engine in your car. Your car's engine allows the car to start and its lights, radio, and heat to function. The gauges begin to work, indicating the level of fuel and oil in your car. You don't think much about a car engine as long as it's working. Without the engine, your car cannot function in a very useful manner. Like the engine in a car, an operating system starts your computer. Once your computer starts, the disk drives and other parts of your computer begin to function. The operating system also performs certain diagnostic checks to make sure your computer is in good working order. A computer without an operating system is like a car without an engine. Dead. You may wonder what DOS is specifically used for. DOS takes care of each part of the PC system, including diskettes, hard drives, software programs, and the information they produce. An operating system like DOS manages all of your computer equipment. DOS is so vital to your PC that your software programs cannot function without it. Without DOS, your computer equipment would just sit there doing nothing. You are working with DOS right now. So, no matter what you plan to use your computer for, some knowledge of DOS is essential. One of the first important things to learn about DOS is its name. DOS stands for Disk Operating System. DOS's name means that DOS is in charge of your computer's disk drives, but DOS controls much more than that. And we fill in the letters. DOS. When you purchase your PC, DOS is usually included. It will come on diskettes, either 5 1/4 or 3.5 inch size. If your computer has a hard disk, DOS may already have been loaded from these diskettes onto the hard drive for you. If your computer doesn't have a hard disk, you will load DOS from diskette each time you start the PC. This is what you'll do, but don't actually do it now. Insert the DOS diskette into drive A, turn on your PC. Note, starting your PC is called booting up. I love the audio. It's very adorable. Question: loading DOS in your PC is known as B, booting up. If you're a hard disk user, DOS may already be loaded onto okay, then you got that. Once DOS is on your hard disk, you can boot your computer without having to insert a DOS diskette. In fact, you should make sure that no diskette is in drive A when booting your computer. Important reminder: you'll need to make sure that no diskette is in drive A when you turn on your computer to boot up from the hard disk. And that is true. DOS will announce itself by displaying C. The C is called a DOS prompt. When you see the C, you know that you have successfully booted your PC. No, if you boot your PC from DOS diskette and drive A, you will see an A prompt instead. When you see the DOS prompt, you can count on this. DOS is alive and is patiently waiting for you to command it. Unfortunately, DOS doesn't know you. DOS has limited vocabulary. If DOS doesn't understand you, it will chide you and give you the message bad command or file name. You will learn that DOS must have its way. DOS will only respond to valid commands. DOS does understand many things. DOS can understand and interpret DOS commands, commands for starting software programs, file names, drive letters, and more. DOS needs to know how to work from different drives on your PC system, but it needs to be told which drive to use. Typically, drives are indicated by letters in the following way. Disk A is the first diskette drive, and drive C is the hard disk. If you have a second diskette drive, it will be called drive B. Your PC could even have a drive D, a drive E, etc. These could be a second hard disk, a part of a hard disk, a RAM disk, a second hard disk, drive D. The DOS prompt tells you where DOS will look first to find the files it needs. If the prompt is A, DOS will look for files on drive A. If the drive is C, DOS will look for files in drive C. Fill in the blank. If the DOS program is B, DOS will look for files on drive B. The drive that DOS is currently working from has a special name. It is called the current drive. If the prompt is A, the current drive is A. Note, this is called the current drive because it is the drive where DOS will look for unless you tell it to look somewhere else. And the current drive shown above is C. When you can change where DOS is working from by switching the current drive. When you switch the drive, the prompt changes. To switch drives, type the desired drive followed by a colon, then press enter. Example B : enter. Note this is called the current drive because it is the drive where DOS will look for files unless you tell it to look elsewhere. And then to switch to A, we just do A : enter. And then to switch back to C, we do C. And then it wants to switch to A again. And then we just press on key. You are the boss of DOS. Switching drives is one way that you can be the boss of DOS. You give the command and DOS will do your bidding. When DOS is finished with one command, it will always come back for more. One of the most important things that you can be the best of DOS, or boss of DOS, is to let DOS run the application software packages you have purchased. There are many types of application software that DOS will run for you. Word processors, accounting software, database managers, spreadsheet programs, entertainment software, and more. DOS can run your application software from diskettes or from your hard disk. Each software package has a specific command that is needed for DOS to run it. When you want DOS to run a software package, you'll need to enter the specific command at the DOS prompt. For instance, if you want to run the spreadsheet program Lotus123, you will enter the command 123 at the DOS prompt, and DOS will run Lotus123 for you. Instructions come with each software package, giving you the startup command. And when DOS has completed running the program, it returns the DOS prompt to let you know it is ready for more. There are many other ways to be the boss of DOS and make DOS work for you, including using DOS file names, executing DOS commands, organize a hard disk, and more. You will learn the master of these skills in the lessons ahead. DOS comes in many different shapes and sizes. There's PC DOS and MS-DOS. There are many different versions of each. The first thing to understand is the difference between MS-DOS and PC DOS. All versions of DOS are related to MS-DOS, which come from the Microsoft Corporation. PC DOS is a particular version sold by IBM, International Business Machine Corporation, for use on its IBM PCs and PS2s. Although IBM uses PC DOS as a special DOS for its machines, all other PC manufacturers use some type of MS-DOS. Other PC manufacturers may alter their versions of MS-DOS slightly to customize DOS for their particular machines. Generally, though, all types of MS-DOS, including PC DOS, use the same DOS commands and offer the same features. This course, therefore, will refer to all types of DOS as DOS. Like most things, DOS has gone through many changes over the years. Many of these changes have been in response to major hardware changes made in the PC industry. As new PCs with new hardware configurations appear on the scene, DOS rises to the occasion and gives support. New versions of DOS provide new commands and also offer enhancements to existing commands. A new version of DOS might also be introduced to fix minor errors, that existed in previous versions. New versions of DOS offer compatibility. Most software packages that run on earlier versions of DOS will run on later versions. However, the opposite is not true. Software packages written for later versions of DOS may not run on earlier versions. And there's the evolution of DOS. You have just completed this lesson. The topics covered in this lesson are the definition of DOS, the DOS prompt, becoming the boss of DOS, and the history of DOS. And we'll go ahead and end it there. And the end.